Hello! Yes, and welcome to our Objective 6.1 sample problems. Objective 6.1 says I can simplify, add, subtract, multiply, and divide rational expressions, and that, my friends, is what we are going to do today. So let's start. Let's dive right in. This first one, simplify the following rational expressions. Looking at letter A, negative 72x squared over 24x, all right? So here, again, we're just looking for common factors. Let's see, 72 is divisible by 24, isn't it? Isn't it? Can I factor a 24x out of both of these, actually? So I'd have negative 24x times 3x over 24x. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, because 25 times 3 is 75. So yeah, negative 24x over 24x, both of those will divide out. I'm left with just negative 3x. There we have it. Looking at letter B, definitely need to factor this quadratic up top. So we'll have n plus 9 over, let's see, n plus 5, or times n plus 5, sorry, over 8 times 40 is 5. So the n plus 5s will divide out here. I'm left with n plus 9 over 8. That would be my simplified form. Looking at letter C, x squared plus 15x plus 50 over x squared plus 7x minus 30. So factor x plus 10, x plus 5 in my numerator. My denominator, let's see, 30. That'd be x plus 10 and x minus 3. There we go. So the x plus 10s would divide out. We would be left with x plus 5 over x minus 3. And there we have it. Very good. Let's look at letter D here. See if I can scroll over. There we go. Oh boy. Okay, well, what do I see here? Let's start. I can take a 5 out of my numerator. Actually, I can take a 5 out of everything, can't I? So let's do this. Let's just divide everything by 5 to start. So I'll have 7n plus 6 over, let's see, divide this by 5. That would leave me with 2n squared minus 5n minus 7. Now we can go ahead and factor this out. So let's see, 2n squared minus 5n minus 7. My numerator is not going to change, but I'm going to have a 2n and an n for sure. Now to get 7 with the middle number of 5, I'm going to need plus 7 and minus 1. Yeah, none of these factors are going to divide out. So that's as far as we can go there. That's as far as we can simplify that one. Now looking at letter E, once again, common factor we can divide out right away. Everyone see it? We can get rid of a k. In doing that, I'd be left with k squared plus k minus 6 over 7k minus 14. Okay. So let's factor my numerator here. I would have k plus 3 and k minus 2. Factor my denominator and take out a 7 to leave me with 7 times k minus 2. K minus 2 is divide out. I'm left with k plus 3 over 7. There we have it. And looking at letter F. Wow, look at this. Okay, well, my numerator, x squared minus 9, the difference of squares, x plus 3x minus 3. My denominator, I think I'm going to have to factor by grouping. Wild. Very cool. So I can factor out a x squared. I'd be left with x plus 1. I can factor out a negative 9 to leave me with x plus 1 in my second binomial. So this becomes x squared minus 9, x plus 1. Now, x squared minus 9, we just factored. We know these are going to divide out. X plus 3, x minus 3, and x plus 1. So that'll be my denominator. So let's put these together over here. So we'll have x plus 3 times x minus 3 over x plus 3 times x minus 3 times x plus 1. So, two of these factors divide out. I'm left with just x plus 1. Remember, if something entirely divides out of the numerator or the denominator, it's not 0, it's 1. So we're going to have 1 over x plus 1, and that would be our simplified form. Awesome. Hopefully we're feeling pretty good with simplifying. because we're going to just add a little wrinkle, do some division and multiplication here. So looking at letter A, all right, so remember, in order to turn division into multiplication, we just switch the second fraction. So I'm going to have 7 over k minus 3 times, and then I'm going to factor this one here. I can take out 25. 25? Yeah. Take out a 25k squared. Whoa. To leave me with k plus 2? Wow. Okay, and then my denominator, I'll be able to take out, remember that's my original numerator, I can take out 35 to leave me with k plus 2. Whoa. Okay, so all sorts of stuff happening here. The k plus 2's can divide out, we see that. I'm going to go one step farther here. I'm going to say 7 times 5 times 5 times k squared, that would be my numerator, over factor k minus 3. 35 is 7 times 5. So the 7 divides, the 5 divides out. So I'm left with 5k squared over k minus 3. Huh. What a crazy roundabout way to get there. That works, though. That would be our quotient for that division problem. Now remember, if we multiply, we just multiply across. So let's go ahead and let's factor out, let's see, we can factor out a 10 from this one, and we'd be left with 2x minus 9 over 10. Times x minus 3, that'd be a factor, over 2x squared minus 19x plus 45. I believe that's going to be 2x minus 9 times x minus 5. So the 2x minus 9's divide out, the 10's divide out. I'm left with just x minus 3 over x minus 5. There we go. Very good. Let's do a few more of these. I like these. Remember, this is really just simplifying with a little wrinkle, right? If we're dividing, we need to just remember to flip that second fraction. So with that being said, we're dividing here. So we'll have v plus 5 over my denominator. Let's see, I'm going to have 3v and something. 3v times v. Let's see, to give me 20, I'm going to have minus 5 here, minus 4 there. Crazy. All right, and I'm going to multiply that by, remember, flip this second fraction, so 2v plus 5 will be my denominator. Oh, boy. Well, let's see here. 6v squared plus 7v minus 20. I have a theory I want to test. Is it 3v minus 4? And 2v plus 5. Let's find out. 3, 6v, that gives me the negative 20. 3, 15, minus 8. Yep, that checks out. Now the reason I got that was I saw the factors I was going to need to divide out here. And I'm left with just v plus 5 over v minus 5. Obviously, if you need to use the AC method or guess and check to factor that quadratic, definitely do that, right? It's super important that we factor these correctly, otherwise we're not going to get them to divide the way we want. So this last one here, multiplying just straight across, so we have m minus 1 over m minus 6. We're multiplying that times 7m plus 1 over, let's see, I'm going to test the theory again. 7m plus 1, what would I need this to be then? m minus 4, yep. Beautiful. So the 7m plus 1's divide out, and that's it. That's all we can do here. So we'd be left with m minus 1 over the factors m minus 6 times m minus 4. And that would be our simplified expression. Excellent. Well done, team. So now that we've done simplifying, multiplying, and dividing, let's do some adding and subtracting. So looking right away at letter H here, remember, if we can, simplify the fraction we're working with. So I'm looking at 4b over 2b minus 6. I'm saying, yo, I can take a 2 out of all of those. So this will become 2b over b minus 3 plus 2b over 2b plus 1. To be or not to be, right? So I'm going to multiply the left fraction by 2b plus 1 over 2b plus 1. I'm going to multiply the right fraction by b minus 3 over b minus 3. When I do that, let's see, what do I get here? I get 4b squared plus 2b over 2b plus 1 times b minus 3 plus 2b squared minus 6b over 2b plus 1 times b minus 3. And then remember, we just combine our like terms in the numerator, right? We do not touch our denominators. We don't change those. So we're going to have 6b squared minus 4b over, and then we can just leave this factored, 2b plus 1 times b minus 3. There we go. Fantastic. Fantastic. Let's look at letter J here. J, we're adding again. All right, and we're adding by a constant here, by 3. So what I'm going to do to start is I'm just going to multiply 3 over 1 times 2n squared minus 9n plus 10. I know I know that's going to have to be my common denominator because 3 just has a denominator of 1. So let's go ahead and multiply this out here. So we're going to get 6n squared minus 27n plus 30 over 2n squared minus 9n plus 10 plus, and then that original second fraction, 6n minus 4 over 2n squared minus 9n plus 10. Oh, oompa, how'd that get there? Okay. Combine like terms. I only have one n squared term. Negative 27 plus 6 would be negative 21n. 30 plus 4 would be plus 26 over 2n squared minus 9n plus 10. And we'll call that good. We will absolutely call that good. If we want, we could probably factor that out. But I don't think there's going to be any simplifying there. I think we're in a good spot. All right, let's look now at letter K. Oh my gosh, look at the things that can simplify in letter K. Okay, let's do this. So I can divide a 3 out of everything. When I do that, I'm left with 1 over x minus 2. Then I can divide a 2 out of everything. When I do that, I'm left with 1 over x plus 1. So that makes this a little nicer. I'm going to multiply my left fraction by x plus 1 over x plus 1. I'm going to multiply my right fraction by x minus 2 over x minus 2. When I do that, I'm going to get x plus 1 over x plus 1 times x minus 2 minus x minus 2 over x plus 1 times x minus 2. Right? Because now that we have those common denominators, all we need to do is combine like terms. X minus x is 0, 1 minus negative 2. That become addition, so we're just 3 over x plus 1 times x minus 2. And that would be our answer there. Well done. Well done. All right. Not how I like my steaks. Letter L, last one. I like that. So, let's see. We have 6n over n minus 6. Nothing I can simplify there. So I'm going to multiply by 3n plus 3 over 3n plus 3. Then my second fraction, 5n minus 1 over 3n plus 3. I'm going to flip that denominator just to put it in standard form. I need to multiply that by the n minus 6 over n minus 6. All right, let's see what we get here. 3n times 6n would be 18n squared. 3 times 6n would be 18n over, my denominator would be 3n plus 3 times n minus 6. And I'm going to subtract. 5n times n is 5n squared. Oh boy. 5n times negative 6 is negative 30n. Negative 1 times n is negative 1n. So this will combine to give me negative 31n. And then negative 1 times negative 6 would become positive 6. Remember, negative times a negative gives me that positive. 3n plus 3 over n minus 6. Beautiful. All right, combine like terms in my numerator. 18n squared minus 5n squared would give me 13n squared. 18n minus negative, so adding 18 plus 31 would be, goodness, what is that? 18 plus 31, is that 49? I think that's 49. And we're subtracting 6, so minus 6 over 3n plus 3 times n minus 6. And what do you know? There we go. Very nice. Hopefully we're feeling confident with this objective. You know, fractions, man. This unit is all about fractions, being able to work with fractions. If that's something you need to brush up on, don't be afraid to do it, okay? Definitely take your time working through these. Make sure you're feeling confident, adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, and simplifying these rational expressions, okay? This is Mr. Carter signing off. I'll see you next time.